we're looking at about a 3.9%. Again, that's right now. That number's going up, okay? But let's use the number that we have at our disposal as of right now, 3.9%, and this is the number that I use to run the calculations for you. So anyway, let me rattle off a bunch of dollar amounts here, as in dollar amounts that people would potentially be receiving as a monthly benefit from Social Security, and show you how much this would translate into as far as a raise to somebody's monthly benefit check, okay? All right, so anyway, let me rattle off some of these dollar amounts, and then we want to talk about some other details around this we also need to take into consideration. All right, so if somebody's receiving a $600 monthly benefit, applying a potential 3.9% raise to that would increase their benefit by $23 a month. If somebody's getting a $700 monthly benefit, applying a potential 3.9% raise would increase their benefit by $27 a month. If somebody's getting an $800 benefit, applying a potential 3.9% raise would increase their benefit by $31 per month. Again, if somebody's getting a $900 monthly benefit, applying a potential 3.9% raise would increase their benefit by $35 a month. And if somebody's getting $1,000, applying a potential 3.9% raise would increase their benefit by $39 a month. Now, let me rattle off a couple more here and just kind of show you what this translates into, okay? Now, if somebody's getting a $1,100 monthly benefit, applying a potential 3.9% raise would increase their benefit by $42 a month. If somebody's getting $1,200, applying a potential 3.9% raise would increase their benefit by $46 per month. If somebody's getting a $1,600 monthly benefit, and the reason I say that is about the average disability benefit right now, as in SSDI. So if somebody's getting the average $1,600 SSDI benefit right now, applying a potential 3.9% raise to that would increase their benefit by $62 per month. And if somebody's getting the average retirement benefit of about $2,100, now as of right now it's a little less than $2,100, it's about $2,080-ish, give or take a little bit there. But by the end of the year, it'll be about $2,100, actually a little bit more than that by the end of the year. Okay, so if somebody's getting a $2,100 average retirement benefit, by the time that we get this, applying a potential 3.9% raise to that would increase their benefit by $81. $81, not bad, right? Pretty nice. Okay. Now, those are the dollar amounts that I wanted to point out for you, okay? So just giving you some random dollar amounts there. I ran the calculations for you. And that's what we'd be looking at based on a 3.9%, okay? Now, as I talked about the other day, based on the CPI, the Consumer Price Index inflation number, that's where we derived that 3.9% potential raise. However, the next day, after we got the CPI, we got the PPI, which is the Producer Price Index, otherwise known as the inflation report on the wholesale level. In other words, inflation on the wholesale level before it hits the consumer level, as in the store shelves. That came in at 6% year over year, or month over month, 1.4%, which annualizes out to about 16-ish%, give or take a little bit. So that's nuts, annualized, okay? That's where we're looking as of right now, about a 16+% annualized inflation rate. That is nuts. Very, very, very high. Way higher than it's supposed to be. But anyway, so this 3.9% that we're projecting as of right now, I anticipate that to jump up by at least a full percentage point by the time that we get to, again, the three most important months of the year when it comes down to the raise to our benefit, which is July, August, and September, the third quarter of the year, because that is the quarter in which that they use to use the inflation data, the CPIW, to calculate how much of a raise we're going to be getting. And we know that wholesale inflation data that I just talked about, the annualized 16+% right now, yeah, that's nuts. That's still coming, and that'll be hitting the store shelves and influencing consumer prices here in the next few months here, basically right in that time frame that they're going to be gathering that inflation data to determine our raise. Okay, so I anticipate this 3.9% to literally jump by about another full percentage point at least. I wouldn't be shocked one bit to see a raise to our benefit somewhere around the upper 4%, even 5%. Wouldn't be shocked. Even though that seems very high right now, it could easily be way higher than that. But we need to wait for more inflation data to come in before I can really kind of jump on that bandwagon and be like, yeah, for sure, we're going to be at, higher than 5%. But I would say 5%, certainly not out of line at all at this point, based on what we're seeing right now in the trajectory. Now, remember one more thing I want to point out for you, which is this, the menace. Nobody wants to talk about the menace, but I do, which is this, Medicare Part B premium. Nobody wants to mention this. Nobody wants to think about it, but we have to take this into consideration. Based on the preliminary data as of right now, it appears that the Medicare Part B premium will likely be increasing by about another $18 a month in 2027, which is totally nuts. Because remember, last year to this year, it went up by $17.90, just shy of $18 a month. And we're looking at that jumping up about another $18-ish, give or take a little bit. We don't have the official announcement yet, jumping up to about $220